towering mountains scraping against a stormy sky. The crack of thunder, the flash of lightning, a golden axe forged in the heart of the sun, held aloft by a powerful warrior with a beard of bronze. This is Perun, the supreme god of the Slavic pantheon. He is the god of the heavens, of thunder and lightning, of law, order, and righteous war. He lives at the top of the world tree, a mighty oak, watching over the world of gods and mortals. He is strength. He is justice. He is the divine king. Now, picture the world below, deep in the wet, dark earth, among the roots of that same world tree. A realm of misty lowlands, of murky swamps and dense, tangled forests. And here, a different god reigns. A god with the horns of a ram or a bull, a shapeshifter who can become a bear, a wolf, or a great serpent. This is Veles, the god of the underworld, of the waters, of cattle and wealth, of magic, music, and mischief. He is chaos. He is cunning. He is the people's god, one, the master of the sky, the other, the lord of the earth. For as long as the Slavic world has existed, these two gods have been locked in a cosmic, eternal battle. This isn't just a simple story of good versus evil. This is something far more profound. This is the story of the storm, the story of the seasons. This is the central myth of the entire Slavic faith, the engine that drives the world. This is the story of Perun versus Veles. To understand this epic conflict, you first need to understand the battlefield, the Slavic cosmos. The ancient Slavs saw the world as a colossal oak tree, the world tree connecting the three realms of existence. At the very top, in the highest branches reaching into the sky, was the realm of Prov. This was the heavenly world, the home of the high gods ruled by the mighty Perun. It was a realm of light, fire, and divine order. At the bottom, among the dark and tangled roots, was the realm of Nav. This was the underworld, a watery or subterranean place, the home of the spirits of the dead. But it wasn't a place of punishment like the Christian hell. It was a mystical, chaotic realm, and its ruler was the enigmatic Veles. And in the middle, the trunk of the great oak, was our world, the world of the living, known as Yav. This was the world of mortals, and it was the battleground where the powers of the sky and the underworld constantly clashed. Perun, the Thunderer, was everything you'd expect from a supreme sky god. He was often depicted as a strong, muscular man with a flowing beard, riding a chariot pulled by goats or horses, armed with his mighty axe. When he threw his axe, it created lightning, and the rolling of his chariot wheels was the sound of thunder. He was the protector of warriors, princes, and the ruling class. Oaths were sworn in his name, and to break an oath to Perun was to invite a lightning bolt from the heavens. He represented the rigid, predictable order of the cosmos, the laws of nature, and the laws of men. He was the divine authority figure, respected and feared in equal measure. Veles, on the other hand, was his polar opposite. He was a god of the common people, the shepherds, the farmers, the musicians, and the mystics. He was a god of wealth, but not the wealth of kings. His was the wealth of the earth, fertile soil, healthy cattle, and bountiful harvests. As a god of magic and wisdom, he was the patron of shamans and storytellers. He was a shapeshifter, a trickster, a being of chaos and unpredictability. He represented the wild, untamed forces of nature, the creative and destructive energy that bubbles up from the earth. He was loved and revered, a god you could bargain with, a god who understood the messy, complicated reality of life. So, what could possibly start a fight between these two powerful deities? According to the myth, the conflict begins with an act of cosmic theft. Veles, in his serpent form, slithers up the world tree from his domain in the roots. He steals something precious from Perun's heavenly realm. In some versions of the story, he steals Perun's divine cattle. In others, he steals Perun's wife, the goddess of fertility. In some of the most dramatic tellings, he steals Perun's own son. Whatever the prize, the crime is the same. Veles, the god of the underworld, has violated the sacred order of the heavens. He has brought chaos into the realm of divine law. Perun's reaction is swift and furious. He lets out a roar of thunder that shakes the world tree to its roots. He mounts his chariot, grabs his lightning axe, and begins a thunderous chase. He pursues the serpent Veles across the sky and down to the mortal world of Yav. This is where the myth comes alive. The battle between Perun and Veles is not some abstract, distant event. It is the storm. The dark clouds gathering are the shadow of Veles, the serpent. The flash of lightning is the throw of Perun's axe. The clap of thunder is the impact of his weapon. Veles, the master shapeshifter, tries to escape. He hides in trees, in houses, behind rocks, even transforming himself into animals or people, but he cannot hide from the sky god. Perun relentlessly hunts him down. The lightning strikes split the trees where Veles hides. They shatter the rocks. They set fire to the fields. Perun is cleansing the world of the chaotic intruder, restoring divine order with every fiery blow. Finally, Perun strikes Veles with a final, decisive lightning bolt. The great serpent is defeated. He is killed, sent back down to his underworld realm of Nav. He releases the stolen cattle, or wife, or son. The treasures of heaven are returned. With Veles vanquished, the storm passes, the dark clouds recede, and then something miraculous happens. Rain begins to fall. This isn't the violent rain of the storm. This is a gentle, life-giving rain. It is the earthly form of the divine cattle that Veles released, the heavenly wealth returning to the mortal world. The rain nourishes the earth, ensures a good harvest, and brings prosperity to mankind. Order has been restored. Perun is victorious. He returns to his throne in the highest branches of the world tree. But this is not the end of the story, because Veles is not truly dead. He is an immortal god of the underworld. He has simply been returned to his proper place. He will recover. He will wait. And next year, he will rise again in his serpent form, slither up the world tree, and steal something from the heavens once more. And the great battle, the great storm, will begin all over again. This is the eternal cycle. It is the engine that drives the seasons. The theft by Veles and the beginning of the storm represent the dry, hot part of the summer, when the earth seems to hold back its bounty. The battle itself is the violent summer thunderstorm, both terrifying and necessary. And the rain that follows the defeat of Veles is the life-giving water that allows the crops to grow, representing the coming of the harvest season and autumn. This myth was not just a story to the ancient Slavs. It was their reality. It explained the world around them. It gave meaning to the changing of the seasons, to the life and death struggle of agriculture, and to the terrifying beauty of a thunderstorm. It was a story acted out in the skies above them every single year. But the story of Perun and Veles is more than just a weather report. It is a deep and nuanced exploration of the very nature of existence. This is not a simple battle of good versus evil, like you might see in other mythologies. Perun is not purely good, and Veles is not purely evil. They are two necessary and opposing forces, locked in a dynamic balance. Perun represents order, law, stability, and the heavens. He is the force that keeps the universe structured and predictable. But a world with only Perun would be static and unchanging. It would be a world of rigid law with no creativity, no growth, no magic. It would be a sterile desert. Veles represents chaos, change, creativity, and the earth. He is the force that challenges the status quo, that brings new ideas, new life, and new wealth up from the underworld. But a world with only Veles would be pure, untamed chaos. There would be no structure, no laws, no safety. It would be a swirling vortex of constant, meaningless change. The world of the living, our world, can only exist in the balance between these two forces. It needs Perun's order to have stability, and it needs Veles's chaos to have life and growth. The annual battle is not about one god trying to destroy the other. It is a cosmic ritual that reestablishes the balance between them. Veles must challenge the heavens to release their life-giving bounty, and Perun must strike down Veles to ensure that chaos does not consume the world. Both gods play their part. Both are essential. This ancient story is so powerful that its echoes have survived for over 1,000 years, even after the arrival of Christianity. The new religion tried to erase the old gods, and it partially succeeded. Perun, the mighty thunderer, was often merged with the figure of Saint Elijah, who in Eastern Christian folklore is said to ride a flaming chariot across the sky, causing thunder and lightning as he hunts down the devil. And who do you think the devil was in these stories? He was a shape-shifting, serpentine creature associated with the underworld and trickery. He was Veles, stripped of all his benevolent qualities and rebranded as the ultimate evil. The eternal battle continued, but its profound meaning was lost. The story was flattened from a complex myth about cosmic balance into a simple tale of good versus evil. But the spirit of Veles was too strong to be completely vanquished. He was the god of the common people, and he survived in folklore. His characteristics were split among various figures. His role as the protector of shepherds was sometimes taken by Saint Blaise. His trickster nature and association with magic lived on in countless tales of forest spirits and magical creatures. The eternal conflict between the sky and the earth, between order and chaos, is a story as old as humanity itself. It's a theme we see in countless mythologies around the world. But the Slavic version, the epic struggle between Perun and Veles, is one of the most elegant and profound. It's a story that reminds us that life is not about choosing between order and chaos, but about learning to live in the dynamic tension between them. It teaches that challenges are necessary for growth, that the old must be cleared away to make way for the new, and that even the most violent storm can be a blessing in disguise, bringing the rain that allows life to flourish. So the next time you see dark clouds gathering on the horizon, the next time you hear the distant rumble of thunder and see a flash of lightning split the sky, take a moment. You are not just witnessing a weather phenomenon. You are witnessing a story of a serpent god slithering up the trunk of the world tree and a thunder god mounting his chariot to defend the heavens. You are witnessing the eternal cosmic battle between Perun and Veles, and you are witnessing the very myth that has kept the world turning for centuries.